Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to plan the ultimate winter family vacation.
We're using this travel blog article. It's called Best Top Winter Destinations for Families 2024. I think it's got some great ideas in here.
It does, and especially because so many people are planning trips this year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, over half of U.S. holiday travelers are planning these out-of-state winter trips. That's a lot of people.
It is, yeah. I think one of the best things about winter travel is the variety. You could go somewhere snowy or sunny, like whatever you want.
That's so true. So this article pits the U.S. against Europe.
Yeah.
You know, like in a friendly face-off. So where should we start?
Well, let's start with the Rocky Mountains. Aspen Snowmass is always super popular, but I think Steamboat Springs is especially great for families.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, for one thing, kids ski free there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the town itself has a really nice, like, mountain town vibe, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're looking for something that's really convenient, Park City in Utah is a great option. You can get there really quickly from the Salt Lake City airport.
Oh, nice. Okay. So those are some good options for snow lovers.
Yeah.
What about people who maybe want to get away from the cold? What about warm escapes?
Yeah, well, the U.S. has some great options for that, too. There's some really nice resorts in Arizona with, like, sprawling pools, palm trees.
Oh, nice.
Or maybe a coastal city in Florida. You could do some exploring at the beach and stuff.
That's cool. Okay, so we've covered the U.S. a bit. What about Europe? You know, those European Christmas markets always look so magical.
Oh, yeah, they're amazing. Switzerland is particularly nice this time of year. The article mentions this one in Montreux Noel, and you can, like, walk around these festive stalls and drink hot chocolate. There's even a Santa's house there.
Oh, wow. So you've got charming villages, snowy peaks, Christmas markets. What else does Europe have to offer?
Well, the Swiss Alps would be an incredible winter experience. Think about staying in a chalet, like, surrounded by all these snow-capped mountains.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you can take these scenic train rides through the Alps.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What about the Northern Lights? Have you ever seen them?
No, I haven't, but I hear it's an incredible experience. Apparently, Norway is one of the best places to see them. Plus, they have some really unique activities there, like reindeer sledding.
Oh, wow. Reindeer sledding. So cool.
Yeah, you can learn all about the Sami people and their culture while riding through the forest.
I love that. Okay, so we've got the Alps, we've got the Northern Lights. It seems like there's so much more to winter travel than just skiing.
Totally. And a lot of the ski resorts have areas where you can go sledding or snow tubing. So if you're not into skiing or if you have little kids, that's a great option.
Good point. What about winter festivals? I feel like those sometimes get overlooked.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There are some amazing winter festivals out there. The Sapporo Snow Festival in Japan is supposed to be incredible. They have these huge ice sculptures there.
Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures. They look amazing.
Yeah, like seriously massive, like works of art. And then closer to home, there's the Quebec Winter Carnival in Canada. That's a bit more budget friendly, I think.
Oh, cool. Okay. Speaking of budget friendly, I know that's a big concern for a lot of families, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
What kind of tips does this article give?
Well, they recommend booking early, for one thing, like for flights, accommodation, and even activities.
Makes sense.
The early bird gets the worm right. But they also suggest, like, looking for destinations that maybe aren't as well known. For example, they mention Comfort Suites Paradise Island in the Bahamas, supposed to be really nice, but not super expensive.
Oh, cool.
And Nickelodeon Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic has great deals if you book early.
Awesome. And are there any good deals in the U.S.?
Yeah, definitely. Las Vegas hotels can be really cheap, especially if you're willing to travel midweek. And the Academy Hotel in Colorado Springs is a really nice option for a mountain getaway.
Okay.
And if you're looking for a beach vacation, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach in Alabama are both really affordable and have beautiful beaches.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got our destinations figured out. Now let's talk about safety. I mean, winter weather can be unpredictable.
For sure. This article really stresses the importance of being prepared. Like, no matter where you're going, you should check the forecast before you leave and pack layers of clothing.
Yeah, good point. What about if you're driving?
If you're driving, you'll want to make sure your car is ready for winter. Like, check your tires, your battery, make sure your lights are working, and that you have a full tank of gas. It's also a good idea to have an emergency kit in your car just in case.
Good advice. What about staying healthy?
Yeah, well, it's always important to wash your hands frequently and stay hydrated. And be aware of the signs of cold-related illnesses, like frostbite and hypothermia.
Right.
And if you're going somewhere warm, don't forget to bring sunscreen and bug spray.
Oh, good point. So being prepared is key. But I think it's also important to be flexible. especially when you're dealing with winter weather.
Totally. Like if a snowstorm hits or your flight gets delayed, you need to be willing to adjust your plans. The most important thing is that everyone is safe and having fun, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. From snowy mountain escapes to sunny beach getaways, we've talked about some amazing destinations. We've explored unique winter activities, delved into cultural experiences, and even uncovered some budget-friendly tips. And we'll be back in a few minutes to talk even more about making your winter vacation fun and educational for the whole family.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. So we were just talking about some pretty amazing destinations.
Yeah. I think it's really cool how many different types of experiences you can have during the winter. Like you can combine adventure and education and culture all in one trip.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, remember how we were talking about those museums and historical sites? Well, those are actually even better in the winter. Like, you could have them all to yourself, practically.
Yeah, that's true. Imagine exploring the American Museum of Natural History in New York, and there's no crowds. Or the Smithsonian in D.C. It would be amazing.
That would be awesome. You know what else I think would be cool?
What?
Walking the Freedom Trail in Boston in the snow.
Oh, yeah, that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like you're really stepping back in time.
I know, right? And if you want a truly immersive historical experience, this article recommends the Plymouth-Patuxent Museums. It's like a 17th century village where you can experience winter the way the Pilgrims did.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and Williamsburg, Virginia is another great place to experience colonial winter life. They have all these traditional crafts and games.
Okay, so we've talked about cities. What about those incredible national parks? You know they're completely different in the winter, like totally transformed.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Like Yellowstone with all those geysers and hot springs against a backdrop of snow.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. And Mount Rainier all covered in snow. The scenery must be incredible.
I bet. And if you're not a fan of the cold, Joshua Tree National Park is a good option. It's a desert, so the winters are pretty mild.
Very good point.
Yeah.
You know, the national parks offer so many different activities in the winter, too. Like you can go snowshoeing or stargazing in Bryce Canyon. Or how about bird watching in the Everglades?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, so we've talked about skiing and snowboarding and reindeer sledding and all that. What about some other winter activities, like stuff that maybe people don't think about as much?
Oh, there are tons, like ice skating. Can you imagine ice skating in Central Park with all the lights and everything? Or in Europe in one of those cute little squares?
Oh, yeah, that'd be so magical.
And if you're looking for something a little more exciting, there's always sledding and snow tubing. A lot of the ski resorts have areas for that.
That's true. And what about those winter festivals we talked about before? The Sapporo Snow Festival with the ice sculptures and the Quebec Winter Carnival.
Yeah, those are great options too. I mean, there are just so many possibilities when it comes to winter travel. You can really find something for everyone.
That's so true. It's all about making memories with your family.
Exactly. And speaking of family vacations, let's be real for a second.
Okay.
Budgets are important, especially during peak season.
Yeah, for sure. So what can people do to keep costs down?
Well, this article has some good advice. First of all, try to be flexible with your travel dates. Like traveling midweek or during the shoulder seasons can save you a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And don't forget about package deals. A lot of ski resorts offer packages that include accommodation lift tickets and even equipment rentals.
Yeah, those can be a great deal.
And remember, a lot of the best things to do are free, like exploring national parks or visiting museums on free admission days, just enjoying nature.
Right. Sometimes we forget about those simple pleasures.
You're right. It's all about finding that balance between planned activities and those spontaneous moments that happen along the way. It's so true. Okay, so it sounds like we can have amazing winter vacations without spending a fortune.
Exactly. And now that we've covered budgeting and safety, I think it's time to circle back to the destinations themselves. What are you most excited about?
Oh, man. That's a tough question. I mean, I love the idea of a cozy chalet in the Swiss Alps. And the ice sculptures in Japan look incredible. But what about you? What about our listeners? What's sparking their interest? So many amazing places to go. We've covered everything from, the Rockies and those snowy mountains to the Caribbean with those sunny beaches. And we've talked about everything in between, like those historical sites and those, those cultural attractions. So many options. I know it's been fun, right? So many different adventures to choose from, like skiing with the kids in Colorado, or maybe seeing the Northern Lights in Norway, or like exploring those Christmas markets in Switzerland.
And we can't forget about all the amazing places here in the U.S. too. like those ancient civilizations.
Yeah, for sure.
But really what stood out to me is how many different types of experiences there are for families during the winter. It's not just one thing. It's like whatever works for your family, making those memories.
Exactly. So whether your family is into those heart-pumping adventures, or maybe learning about different cultures, or just relaxing and enjoying the scenery, you can find it in the winter.
You really can. So what about you all listening? Like, what places have you been thinking about? What have you been dreaming about for your next winter trip?
Imagine snuggling up by the fire in a cozy cabin with the snow falling outside. Or maybe you're picturing yourselves building sandcastles on a warm beach.
Or maybe you're thinking about drinking hot chocolate at a Christmas market, or, racing down a hill on a toboggan. Whatever your dream is, we hope this deep dive has given you some ideas and some good tips to make it happen.
And remember, planning a vacation with your family doesn't have to be stressful. If you start early and think about what everyone enjoys and, be open to new things, you can plan a really memorable and affordable winter vacation.
And don't forget those little things that can make a big difference, like packing a special snack, or, bringing a favorite board game, or just unplugging and spending time together.
Yeah, those are the best parts. And at the end of the day, the best souvenirs you can bring home are those memories you make together. So when you're thinking about your winter trip, just choose experiences that will, make you laugh and bring you closer and, give you those stories that you can tell for years to come.
Maybe your next winter vacation will be the one that becomes a family legend. The one everyone talks about for years. So get out there, explore, try something new, and most importantly, have fun.
And stay safe and warm out there.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.